So this is part 2 of band work exercises for swimming, working that upper body. This is gonna be a little bit longer. We're gonna talk about an exercise you guys have probably seen before, which is band work that just looks like, you see it on videos, it looks like this. You might have seen people do it 2 at a time where they come all the way down, all the way back up, all the way down, all the way back up. Now, I'm gonna break this exercise down into parts because it's doing a lot of different things there. So there are 3 parts to the swim stroke. There's more than that, but for purposes of our conversation, 3 parts. When you are pulling down and swimming, you've got part 1, which is the start of that pull stroke. This is also known as the catch. Then you've got what I call the power phase, which is through here. And then you've got the finish. Okay, so you've got the catch, power phase, finish. This exercise works all 3 of those, but there are different things that you need to understand about the 3 parts of that stroke. This first part here is very different than the rest of the stroke for a few reasons. For one, it's a motion from the elbow. It's not so much a motion from the shoulder. And that is important because what you are doing with this part of the stroke here, it's called the catch. And the way that I remember that is that you're setting up your arm to catch the water. And to catch the water means you're gonna catch it and you're gonna move yourself forward. In order to move yourself forward, the angle of this arm here has to be pressed down. And that requires a movement from the elbow here. It is not a movement from the shoulder here. If you start out your stroke and you're moving from the shoulder here, what's happening is that you're pressing down and you're lifting your body up, which is not what we want to do. If you are moving from the elbow here and you're starting that catch, it's starting to move you forward. And it's setting up your arm in a way that's going to help you continue to move forward. So the catch is a really important part of the stroke. It's one of the last things that I teach. It's hard to do. And the exercise with this band is a good time to develop a feel for that. But there are 2 things you need to be mindful of. One, that part of the catch isn't something that we're really trying to strengthen in the same way that we're trying to strengthen the rest of the pull. This isn't a power move here. This, for a lot of people, is much more about connecting the motion of the arm to the brain. This. You know, and you need it to be effective and you need it to be strong, but this is not a power move. So when you're doing these bands and you're getting ready to do these exercises, it is more effective, in my opinion, to isolate that exercise on its own. So you're gonna practice the catch. Catch it here. A movement from the elbow. So if you guys look here, sometimes it's helpful to put your hand here and place that catch. It's from the elbow, my shoulder's not moving. For those with shoulder problems, this is something you wanna be careful with. My left shoulder, not really that great. So when I do this on my left shoulder, I'm down here a little bit more practicing it, rather than having my arm clear up here, because my shoulder doesn't want to move in this direction when my arm's up here. I bring it down a little bit, it alleviates that pressure on the joint. That is something that is, if you take nothing away from any of the videos, that's something that is really important, because this little guy here is where we're going to get into shoulder problems. So that catch, 1, 2, 3. That's what I would start with. Isolating the catch, working on getting that motion figured out with your brain, and then move on to the rest of the exercises that are going to work on the power phase.